All right, welcome back. So here we join Sienna, hard at work as always. She's going to complete a couple of jobs in order for her to renovate the upstairs of the bookstore. And she doesn't necessarily want to live in the bookstore so much. She likes her trailer, but she figures, that while she's, developing the property, she might as well, make a little place for herself and for the baby, because she knows in some point in the future the baby's going to need a place to be. So we're just going to keep working here. And the first jobs went through without a hitch, but, the game just can't help but throw curveballs. So this one, when I tried to approve them or send them to be approved, they were rejected as per usual, all three of them, even though I only need two. So we put enough work in, I mean, one of the ways I try to justify cheating the job done is that she almost always does three, even though they only ask for two, and all three of them usually wind up getting rejected anyway. And I feel like that is just unreasonable. So we're just going to go ahead and complete that job. And I'm excited to show what we'll do on the second floor, which will be a little bit later in the video. But for now, it's night on the town day, so we're definitely going to go out. But it's difficult to go out without somebody to watch the baby. So luckily, Paka'a is, for whatever reason, hanging out outside. So we're just going to borrow him to watch the baby for a little bit. All right, so this is a Maxis, one of the original, I don't know what you call these things, restaurants, bistros. I think it's called bistro. That came with Dine Out. We're just going to use this place. But Sienna's super excited because she's going to have a little ladies' afternoon out, I guess we can call it, a luau. Shout outs to the Office fans, if anybody is an Office fan that's watching this. Anyway, I was fully expecting the game to break in one way, shape, or form while they were eating, but actually it worked out basically perfectly. So I was excited about that. It looks like Sienna's getting some ideas for her, for the upstairs of her bookstore. She's like, I like this countertop. It's pretty nice. Okay, so we're going to have a seat. And as you can see, we're here with Jenna. And Jenna is a new friend. We're trying to get to know her better. And so is Alex. And Sienna was expecting that since Kohei was out, that Alex would also be out. But when she sent an invitation, Alex was like, no, I'm here. Yeah, I'll go along. Sounds like fun. So Sienna was happy about that. Of course, they're cousins, so it doesn't necessarily mean that they'll always be hanging out together. They'll always be together. But she just found it very curious that Alex was home, but Kohei, for some reason, isn't in town. If he's working, why wouldn't Alex, his assistant, be with him, right? So, yeah, she's a little bit curious about that. So she sends Kohei a text like, oh, I thought Alex was going along with you. It's kind of curious that she's here, She's not going to say anything. So I had Sienna order the food, but this lady, the waitress lady, just kept hovering. And I'm like, are you going to put the order in? I was so worried that she never put the order in. She was just hanging out at the table. She was like, wow, I want to join. I want to have a good time too. She actually made me feel a little sad for her. And also, in the back, if you notice the lady at the host table, she goes like she's going to show the guy to the table. And then for whatever reason, the guy makes the same motion. It's like, which one of you is the host? It was just one of several funny things that happened while I was recording this. All right. So anyway, I guess Jenna stepped out to the bathroom. And also we have people dropping food all over the place. And I was worried also that might have been our food. I'm glad that it wasn't, to be honest, because if it was, I would cry. And this guy just takes off. Bye. Did you even eat? I don't think anybody got their food yet. He just leaves. It's funny. Okay, anyway, so luckily their food did arrive, and she didn't drop it on the floor, which is wonderful. We should have left a tip, but actually it's not on a town day, so we didn't pay any money at all anyway. But she was really attentive, through the whole thing. She came and checked on the table and was laughing and joking with us. So I don't know. I think it was good customer service. And the food is actually excellent quality. So the ladies are having a really good time. So while they're there, Sienna lets them know about the big news. She's like, so I finally decided I'm going to basically be pursuing Paka'a from now on. And Alex is like, ooh, girl, juicy. Tell me more. And Sienna's like, I don't know. It's just, you've known from the beginning, what your cousin is like. And she's like, I can't deny that. But Jenna's like, I'm excited for you because I was really worried. Every time we talk, you express disappointment, you express like unhappiness about it. So I'm glad that you decided to change your mind. And Alex is like, you go, girl. So funny. And so, but she's like, on the other hand, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to like break the news to him. I don't want him freaking out on me or making it seem like I'm the one who's in the wrong or anything. I think I was the one who was putting in most of the work in this relationship anyway. And the girls are like, you are. No worries. Okay. So they go to head out. And it was a great meal. Sienna was very happy to be able to like have the meal. It was free. And that's the most important part. Season 1 nostalgia. Anyway, so maybe later, I'm not sure if it's like the day after or like the next day, but we're just sort of passing the time until New Year's, which is of course a week or so after Christmas, right? So like a day or two later, she's shopping with her dad and her brother, and her dad's like, I hate this place. And she's like, why? And he's like, the prices are way too high. Look, if you comparison shop with this place and Simkia or whatever, Simkia is so much cheaper. And she's like, Dad, why is it always like that with you? You're always trying to get deals. And he's like, hey, I didn't make all this. We don't have all this money for nothing. Is basically his attitude about it. So he goes and putting in calls and stuff for his daughter again. And she's like, Dad, you don't have to do this every single time. I can buy things on my own, you know. He's like, I got you. Oh, it's so funny. Okay, so she's like, Dad's giving her the flux. So she goes downstairs looking for Blaine, and Blaine kind of follows her down, like, hey, where are you going? Like, why are you taking off? And there's lots of stuff in this build. This is actually one of mine. I made it a while ago. But anyway, it's just supposed to be some big place where you go shopping. But one of the main problems is that I always forget to set it as a retail lot. And even when I do set it as retail, you kind of have to have somebody purchase it and then set things for sale. Otherwise, you can't buy anything. So we're just going to be doing some window shopping today instead of actually making any purchases. But I would assume that Sienna is getting a lot of great ideas for her apartment. And they got a karaoke machine and everything. Aw, nice memories with Paka'a singing karaoke. That dance. Oh my God, that dance. It's so funny. She's like, wow, this TV is awesome. I wish I could have a big screen. Okay, so this is Sienna basically letting Blaine know, hey, I'm considering breaking up with Kohei. And I'm kind of worried about it, but I'm also kind of excited about it because and Blaine's like, well, I think this is like the obvious choice, right? He was like, Paka came over the other day and we played like Super Smash Brothers or whatever it is that young people play, and she's like, wow, really? And he was like, yeah, he's really awesome at it too. And she's like, he's just a super talented guy, and I just like him so much. She quickly sends him a little text like, hey Paka, thinking of you. Okay, so they head up to the third floor so they can see a lot more of the home goods and stuff. And for some reason, Sienna disapproves of the beautiful plants in the corner. What is this music? On the second floor, in the basement floor, it was like Sims 2 nostalgia music, which was nice. I don't know what's going on in this one. But in any case, it's like disco or something. I think I'll have to turn the sound down a little bit more. But anyway, I don't know why Blaine is dancing in the store. I just find it hilarious. So anyway, she's just kind of finalizing like her the decision with him, and she's like, sometimes I just don't know what to do. And he's like, you always know what to do. You pray on it. That's what you do. And she's like, you know what? You're absolutely right. So she takes his advice, and they say goodbye. All right. So on the way back in, she notices that there's something sitting outside her apartment. She's like, oh my God, what is this? And it's like little heart-shaped cookies or something like that. And she's like super excited about it. And she's like, wow, Paka is the sweetest guy on the planet. But why? Why does he always leave it outside? Like the first time he brought it inside. He has a key. Why does he keep leaving it outside in the snow? It's really bizarre to her. But in any case, it's the morning of New Year's Eve. And she's having to pay her bill. We have to kind of hurry because it might be overdue soon. So we're gonna hurry up and pay that. But I forgot about that. So now we have to make a little bit more money before we do the renovation. And not the renovation. I keep saying that. It's not a renovation. It's just simply doing the design of the second floor. And so she now she has a little bit less money than I was expecting her to have. So we're gonna have to do another job. But at the same time, after I finished doing it, I realized I didn't need that much money. A lot of the CC that I find is actually not that expensive. And I don't know, it feels kind of cheaty sometimes, but at the same time, I don't understand the price of some of the things in the game. I just kind of don't. Like, I wouldn't spend like $25 on a toilet roll paper. A toilet paper roll holder. Toilet roll paper. What is that? Anyway, so she's going to complete another job before we get started on the second floor. And she is super proficient at this. Most jobs go through without a hitch. And luckily, this one also went through without any problem. I didn't have to cheat. And that makes me happy. But in any case, we're going to get started on the second floor. We're going to do her bedroom and the little nursery area. And I figured that that's enough for now. She already has, obviously she already has a bedroom in her trailer. There's a little kitchen area. There's already a bathroom there. So I figured we don't really need to waste any money on those things right now. But I did want her to have a bedroom, a place for her to sleep. Eventually, I want to have a little kitchenette and a place for her to entertain, so she can have like a little ladies' night in, for example, or she can have like a party, like a birthday party or something up there. It can be like a little entertaining space for her. I think that would be good. And then as the baby gets older, considering just making that her room his room, like as he gets older, like probably he'll sleep with her in the beginning, but then as he gets older and he's like, Mom, I don't want to sleep with you, I want my own room, then he'll have a room, and Sienna will at least have the trailer. And I think that is, I don't know, kind of interesting, and I'm still trying to figure out how exactly I'm going to do the retail thing. I've seen another mod or something, or I don't know exactly if it's a mod. I don't know how things work. I'm not really tech savvy. But it seemed like it's like you can have a lot trait that's like a home business on the lot or something like that. And I guess that means that people can come buy things. I don't exactly know how it works, but I'm looking into it. Another solution could be to just simply, just before the grand opening, have the baby age up to a toddler so I don't have to worry about it anymore. And they'll basically just live on their retail lot. I'm thinking that's the best thing to do at this point. In any case, here is Sienna's room. It's coming together quite nicely. It's actually really nice. I think it would be a really comfortable place to sleep. And the bed was really cheap, but it's really good quality. So she probably won't be using it very often. Sometimes CC creators will make these really inexpensive beds, but they will have like max 10, like comfort and everything, which means that your sim is never uncomfortable. They basically don't even need to sleep for like a whole day and a half because their energy is so complete and so full that they don't get tired again for a long time and all that. I don't really need that. I just want it to be there as a room, just because. So anyway, here we're working on Little Sam's area, and I found a lot of different like nursery CC. Not all of it matches. I was just kind of, going back and forth with what I wanted it to look like. It just needs to be like a little area for when he gets a little bit older, a place where we can, obviously in the game, you have to have like a toddler bed. I don't think this is actually going to work, but I just want it to look nice. The same way that I just want Sienna to have a room that looks nice, I just want it to look nice. And there's so many cute little clutters for the nursery. I couldn't figure out which one to choose, so I had to skip ahead a little bit. All right. So Sienna's going to come check in on the baby. And another reason for this, I may have mentioned before, was just to get the baby out of the cold. Like, I know that the babies in The Sims 4 don't feel the temperature. They just simply don't. Like, they don't get hot when it's hot. They don't get cold when it's cold. I think. Even if they did, I wouldn't know. I've never seen anything about a baby freezing to death. And every time I move her out and move her in, they keep putting the baby outside. It's so annoying. I always have to move him back inside. So at least now, I think that won't happen anymore. Now they should just automatically spawn him either in her bedroom, in the bigger bedroom, or in this room here. It'll be so much more convenient. So there she is, like in her new little nursery space, just like having a good time with the baby. And it is New Year's Eve, so one thing that she would definitely want to do is make a resolution. And I think that write a book is probably the most suitable for her. I don't plan on having her become an author or anything, but it's just something I think that she would want to do. Just as a resolution. She's super excited about that. All right, so her plan for New Year's is basically to spend it with Paka'a and just to see how things go. So she's going to have a little flirty bath what do you call this? She has like romantic bath salts. I'm not sure exactly how it works. And she's going to do a little bit of primping, as you do. Makeup looks impeccable. And she's going to have Monica actually watch the baby for her. And so Monica had the first chance to see the bookstore. And actually, Monica is really taken aback by it, and she thinks that it looks amazing. So she basically wants to kind of apologize to Sienna because she kind of doubted her at first. And so Sienna's like, you know what? I forgive you because you're my mom and I knew you'd come around at some point. And she's like, I'm actually super proud of you. I think that you are doing a wonderful job here. And she's like, thank you so much. I love you. Love you too. Aw, mommy dotty time. What's a dotty? Okay, so transition back to Paka's house, which I still love. I still can't get enough of it. And yeah, so basically they're just gonna just have a nice romantic evening together. I have no other way of describing it. Okay, so Paka's house is actually quite big. And so there's some areas that Sienna hasn't seen before. And this little music room, sitting room area is one of them. And so Paka just wants to put on the moves. You know, he just wants to charm her a little bit by playing some music. And, you know, she's sort of listening to it and she's like, wow, he is really talented. Like, he's incredibly talented. Like, it's kind of like she kind of feels a little bit taken aback because it's not that she ever discounted him, like, in the beginning. She knew that there was something special about Paka. Like, she knew that he was pretty awesome. And that he would be a really good friend. And not only that, but that he would be a really good dad because he just seemed like a really down-to-earth kind of guy. Really responsible, seemed to have his head together. But she didn't know, you know, he's not only is he good at video games, you know, not only is he great at singing, and now he's also like a demon on the piano. And so she is so smitten. Like, I can just imagine that, you know, for her, it's like she's smitten. And I wanted him to play something romantic. And this was one of the romantic songs. It doesn't sound romantic to me, but I think it worked. And so then after that, I had him try to serenade her or whatever. And I know that sometimes when people do these kind of playthroughs, they're a little bit worried because sometimes it gets like copyright striked because of the music or whatever. I hope that doesn't happen. All right, so now we're gonna cozy up in front of the fire. And Paka is not like the wealthiest person, but because he loves music so much and because he likes to entertain, and that's the main reason behind this room. He is going to set out some alcohol for them to enjoy. And I didn't know it, but Paka is a total lightweight. So he was acting very strange after he drank. And I just found it so fascinating. But it didn't really suit the playthrough. So I had to cut a lot of his odd behavior out. He got super drunk. It was really, really funny. But in any case, I wanted them to give each other a toast. And I thought that by doing that, they would just use the drinks that they had. But the game gives them another drink. So that made it worse. I think Sienna is also a lightweight, but she was too flirty to basically be showing the effects of her being drunk too much. Okay, so Paka is going to make a little toast. Sienna, get off your phone when he's making a toast. It sounded like she said, attaboy. I find this so cute. All right, so I don't even know how to say, is this their first date? This is probably even like a date for them, isn't it? That's kind of sweet. All right, so, well, I mean, technically she's still boyfriend and girlfriend with Koi because she hasn't broken up with him yet. But, you know, that's still to come. But in any case, it does feel like they're on their first date. And I think it's just going so well. And this is, again, one of the biggest differences between when she's with him and when she's with Kohei. Whether I'm controlling Kohei or not, at some point in the conversation, Sienna will have like 2 or 3 negative moodlets. And I'm like, something has to give. So anyway, now they're watching the countdown to midnight. 3, 2, 1. So exciting. And always after the countdown, depending on who is in the room with you and who what the relationship is, the game will have them autonomously do something. And they kissed. Their romance is just way too high for them not to kiss, I think. So yeah, kissing at midnight is the best. I agree, Paka. And of course, he's a merman. I always say mermaid, which is so rude. He's a merman, so he does that really cute little thing. It's so adorable. And yeah, Sienna is just falling head over heels. She thinks that Paka'a is the tops. And this wasn't part of the plan. I think even for her, this was not like in the plan, but sometimes nature pulls you in a certain direction. And the evening is winding down. Sienna wants to get back before it's too early in the morning because she knows that her mom might turn on her, even though they had such a nice mother-daughter moment before she left. She doesn't want her mom to get upset or to think that, anything is going on. So she wants to head out sooner than later. And so Paka's like, you sure you don't want to stay? And Sienna's like, I really should get going. She doesn't want to get going, but she really should get going. We'll put it that way. So she heads off back to the house, and Paka'a is just over the moon. All right. So we're back at the house, and Sienna notices that it's very quiet. So she goes first to check on the baby, and she's like, oh, where's mom? And she's like, oh, she's probably sleeping. So she figures that she's in the room because it's she would have told her about it when she came. I probably even showed it to her if we had enough time. But, time in the game goes by way too fast. So we wanted to make sure we had a nice evening with Paka'a. We had just enough time, by the way, to make that evening work. All right. So we're just going to settle up next to little Sammy Sam because we missed him, of course, because we were out all afternoon. And yeah, Sienna's been kind of going out quite a bit. It's the holidays. It's to be expected. And, eventually she'll be able to take Sam with her. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So I was about to end the episode and I just opened the relationship panel. And why? It's like, I don't know if the game is doing it on purpose. Like if it knows that she's cheating or something. He can't know. He's never there. And like there's never any indication that to tell me like, oh, I don't know. And so I looked in here to try to see if it's like they had like a negative sentiment, like, oh, she's cheating or something, but there's nothing here to indicate that he would know. So it was just really bizarre to me that their relationship is red now. I didn't do that. I swear I did not do that. And how would he know? So like, I think I might have to cheat their relationship at green a little bit because I don't get it. I don't want to have to do that, but did Alex tell him something behind our back? I don't know. But in any case, that's just about the end of the episode. I'd like to thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in another episode.